This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, verse 6 through 8. Flee out of the midst of Babylon, and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of Yahweh's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. Babylon hath been a golden cup in Yahweh's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain, if so she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go every one into his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies. Shalom, shalom. Before I begin this lesson, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone that rule well. And peace and blessing be multiplied on all you brethren teaching his word in all sincerity and in truth. To the hopeful elect, Shalom. It's the brother Dama Gabar here with another lesson, Lord willing to edify and give you warning from Yahweh by Yahweh Shai. All right. And as you can see, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. And this Babylon here in Jeremiah, the 51st chapter, is speaking about America. All right. America is that golden cup. This is the place that made all the earth drunken with the wine of her wrath, and have these nations drunken off of this philosophy and democracy, and drunk off the petrodollar and the great wealth and great influence and deception of America have made these nations to be drunken, off of the philosophies of Babylon the Great, and now they're mad because they've all been duped, they've all been set up, and they're all now trying to, fix and repair their countries from lying down with this great whore known as America, financially, being influenced spiritually, and taking on the ways of America has caused a lot of these countries to, to go backwards and not forward. And now they're all trying to, separate themselves, repair the damage that, following after the ways of Babylon the Great and America have done into their country, to their citizens, to their people. And now they're mad. And now they're all trying to gather together, and, via the BRICS nations, and trying to fix themselves up and repair themselves from the damage, from the fornication and the wickedness that they have suffered from, allowing the philosophies and the ways of America to infect and seduce their citizens, and as scriptures say, hey, forsake this place. America is done on every single level imaginable. All right, and only an idiot would see any future or think that America is going to bounce back, thinking that President Trump is going to save and deliver America from from these globalists, from the plot of these elites, from the fornication and the spiritual damage that has been done to this place, are going to be sorely mistaken. All right. America is going to be destroyed. Babylon is fallen. Forsake her. There's nothing that you can do to heal this place. It's done. It's fallen. And this is prompted by this article that I was reading, which is pretty lengthy. So I'm going to try to read through it quick, and I'm going to drop another precept because, it basically speaks for itself. And this is what, starting with the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, that, the men of the Lord, what we've been out here prophesying and trying to, get our people, you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, who are the true biblical Israelites, to see that, look, this is not your rest. America is not the kingdom of heaven. We were brought here to serve a punishment, and that punishment is just about up. And the Lord is about to avenge us and judge America, Babylon the Great, for all of the rape, robbery, and murder, blasphemy of the Holy Spirit, sorcery, witchcraft, money magic, treacherous works, and this ultimate how could I say going against the grain of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, is going to bring upon this place. So this says here from Zero Hedge, 10 signs that U.S. culture is being turned completely upside down, you see? And that's exactly what is happening here in Babylon the Great. They are literally, matter of fact, let me get this real fast. This is Isaiah chapter 29, verse 6. It says, surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. For shall the work say of him that made it, he made me not? Or shall the thing framed say of him that framed it, he have no understanding? You see? And that's ultimately what America preaches. And this is the culture of America. It turns everything upside down. That's why here a man can be a woman and a woman can be a man. You know, now we're living in a society to where they can't even identify what a woman is, because they totally turned the simple, basic creation of the Most High upside down. Now they're telling you that a man can be a woman, that a man can give birth, that a man can have a menstrual cycle, that everything is just completely confused and everything here is just out of order. And it's going against the creation and nature and the law, statutes, and commandments and the creation of the Heavenly Father. And they're flipping it to telling you now that good is evil and evil is good. You see? And this is everything that America stands for. Complete rebellion and utter hatred for the natural ways of the universe. It's ultimately the Most High. So I'm going to read through this, try to go through it pretty quick, and Lord willing, you can be edified. It says, they wanted to fundamentally transform America. You see, because, when America first started, it's always been a wicked society, but at least at some point here, they understood that marriage was between a man and a woman. They somewhat had some respect for the God of the Bible to a certain extent, but now as we're entering into these last days of Babylon, it has totally went to the left. It has totally went upside down. And now they're passing laws and they're, putting things in place to where if you speak against, the righteousness, if you speak against what's truly right and the principles of the God of the Bible, you can be imprisoned. You can be ostracized. You can be deemed as crazy. You could be, you can be thrown in prison. You can be fined, and you can have a thought crime. You can be thought crime, which that's what they're doing to that guy, Jordan Peterson. I was just reading an article right now, and over there in Canada, they're basically trying to put him in a re-education center so that he doesn't speak things that logically make sense. And they're looking to do that to every single person here on the planet. They're creating thought police all around the world to say that the average person, in their opinion, needs to be shackled. Your opinion needs to be it has to go with the mainstream narrative, and anybody that speaks outside of that needs to be silenced. You need to be re-educated. You need to be ultimately checked and put in line. All right. 2 + 2 is not 4 anymore here in this society. It's whatever Big Brother tells you it is. Okay. It says they wanted to fundamentally transform America, and they have succeeded. So now, instead of a leave it to beaver society, we have a society where literally anything goes. You see, and that's how America used to be, the leave it to beaver society, which was, the father and the mother and the 2 kids. The women weren't allowed to destroy themselves and to be whores and to be business women and to be, free to do all of these things that ultimately destroy themselves. Now here in this society, it's gone totally left. And anything goes. Like I said, a man can be a woman. Now a woman doesn't, it's deemed restrictive and prison for her to be a wife, to be under her husband, to stay at home and raise a family, to be what the Most High has created her to be. Matter of fact, let me get that. Let me get this. This is no longer what it should be. This is Matthew 19:4. And he answered and said unto them, have ye not read that he which made them at the beginning made them male and female? And who was the he that made them? The Most High, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And now this is a taboo. Now this is wrong. This is backwards. This is against nature. You see? It says, and said, for this cause shall a man leave father and mother, and shall cleave to his wife, and they twain shall be one flesh. You see? Wherefore they are no more twain, but one flesh. Wherefore what the Most High have joined together, let no man put asunder. You see, because there's order in marriage. It's the man, the wife, the children, and so forth and so forth. Now this is have been turned totally upside down and broken. Now they're saying that, well, now the Most High had it wrong. This is not right. This is not the way that it should be. Now a man could be with a man. Now a woman doesn't even have to have a husband. She can just, be independent and strong, and she don't have to marry. That's restrictive. That's evil. That's not right. She deserves to be, to do what she want to do and be up from under the authority of a man, which is why there's so much goddamn confusion, why there's so much divorces and so many broken families and things are just out of order. See? It says, our families are disintegrating. Traditional moral values have been completely discarded. And what is traditional moral values? Biblical values, the way that, like I just read, that Matthew 19. It says our young people are running wild in the streets, right? You can't even punish your children now. And if you whoop your children and discipline them and they go to the school and say that my dad whooped me or my mom whooped me, you can be in danger of being deemed a unfit parent, and you can have your children taken from you and put into the state, and you can be locked in prison. It says crime is totally out of control and our system of government is melting down right in front of our eyes. So what is going to happen to our once great nation if things just continue to get even worse? Well, I read it in that Jeremiah, the 51st chapter. This place is forsaken. It's not going to be healed. America is not going to go back to the moral and traditional values that it once upheld, because there's a new world order being taken in place, which is the kingdom of Satan here on earth under the biblical Edomites. Our politicians like to tell us that America is great because America is good. No, America is not good. This place is wicked, man. It says, but the truth is that America stopped being good a long time ago, you see? So this place has been spiraling down a path of straight destruction because it was all prophesied to be this way. America is not the kingdom of heaven. It was not set up to last forever. And now we're at the last leg of this society. And it's about to be judged by Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. It says the following are 10 signs that U.S. culture is being turned completely upside down. I'm not going to read all of these, but when I read these, you'll basically get the point. And it coincides perfectly with that Jeremiah, the 51st chapter. It says number one, it has finally happened. The elite have such disdain for the choices of average Americans that some of them are starting to float the idea that elections should be eliminated. The following comes from an article that the New York Times published just last week that was originally entitled "Elections Are Bad for Democracy." And I recently heard Klaus Schwab saying that now in the future, the people don't get to decide who becomes president or who gets to vote. They don't get to decide who's voted in. We can use artificial intelligence to do this. We can use technology to do this. Basically, you people don't have no say so and no choice, because part of the New World Order is you will own nothing and you will be happy. So your vote don't matter. Your opinions don't matter. Nothing that you do matter. All right. You just need to be ruled over as the stupid peons and the dumb animals that these elites see you people as. It says what? It says, if you think that sounds anti-democratic, think again. The ancient Greeks, and who were the ancient Greeks? The Edomites. All right. Invented democracy, and in Athens, many government officials were selected through a sortition, a random lottery from a pool of candidates. In the United States, we already use a version of a lottery to select jurors. What if we did the same with mayors, governors, legislators, justices, and even presidents? And that's what Klaus Schwab said. This is what the future is going to be like. This is why they're creating artificial intelligence. And part of the fourth industrial revolution, robots will take over the majority of all the jobs out here, and you people will just be left. You'll just be asked out, and you'll just do whatever, pathetic jobs that are left that these elites want you to do. So this place is through, man. Here's number two. The war on family continues to escalate, and is now being reported that 45% of all U.S. women in their prime working years will be single and childless in 2030, you see? And this is part of that new world order. This is part of that rebellion against the Heavenly Father's order. That man, like I read in Matthew 19, this is totally being eviscerated here in this society. And this is why the family is being broken up. This is why you see children being raised in single family homes. This is why you see the arrogance and the pride of all these women out here just running amok and lewd, and they're whores and they're sluts and they're tramps, and they're unable to bond with men because they just slept around so much. You see, and this is a huge proponent of the rebellion against the Heavenly Father. And this is why a lot of women are going to be judged and destroyed in these last days, because you have taken upon the ways of the serpent. All right. And this is that, the fruit, which was the philosophy that the serpent gave Eve in the garden. And now, you Negro, like you are, you women of the tribes, you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, the majority of you are definitely on board with this. And it's went out throughout all of America. And now all these women are out here on OnlyFans. They're destroyed. They're prideful. They're just wicked, man. And it's being promoted on every level. It says we're told by our culture that a woman who is unmarried and has no children is empowered and in charge of her own life. You see, in the ancient world, it was deemed evil and it was deemed wicked. It was looked down upon if a woman wasn't married and didn't have a husband and didn't bear her husband children. That was the ultimate goal of all women in the ancient world. Even in some of these Eastern countries, that's the thing that women look forward to is getting married, having a husband, and bearing children. You see, but in this society, they totally eradicated that and filled the woman with the philosophy that she's independent, that she's equal or above a man, you know? And look how it's worked out in this society, man. It says she has escaped the unnecessary burden of raising a family and being a slave to her husband. At least that's what our society has convinced us. Sadly, many women have adopted the modern feminist lifestyle and have chosen to sleep around, abort their baby if they unexpectedly get pregnant, and swear off marriage, you see? And that all goes back to ancient idol worship and ancient gods. Semiramis, Tammuz, the queen of heaven spirit. And that's a real life vibration and spirit that's being pushed on this woman. And it all goes back to idol worship. But these women don't understand, nor are they spiritually inclined enough to put the pieces together and see that that's a spirit of rebellion, a spirit of wickedness. And it's all an ancient form of witchcraft and sorcery. And it's all through the society here in America, man. And this is why this place is going to be destroyed, because once the basic fabric of society, which is a man and a woman, husband and wife raising children, is done, the society is done. There's lewdness, there's no order in it, and things just go out of control. It says, but these cultural trends are going to have a tremendous impact on the future of American society. Morgan Stanley estimates that 45% of women in their prime working years, ages 25 to 44, will be single and childless by the time 2030 arrives. And that's why, you had guys like Kevin Samuel coming out and telling women, look, y'all need to, shut up and sit down and get you some husbands, get you, adhere to the vast importance of, the family and it being in order and it being done the way that the Most High has established it to be. But this place has totally torn that mentality and that importance away from these women, and now they see no regard in it. And a lot of these women, hey, when all hell breaks loose, when this society collapses and the lights go out, all of this feminist bullshit is gonna go exactly out the window. And that's one beautiful thing why the Lord needs to bring the end of this society and the way that the Lord needs to bring straight this just disrupt this society as it is and bring chaos, because one thing that chaos is going to bring is a lot of these women who are proud, a lot of these feminist women, when all hell breaks loose, they're all going to go back to being traditional women, man. They're going to be looking for a stronger man to protect them. They're going to be looking for these men that they diss and that they claim they don't need. And, these stupid rap bitches. I don't need a nigga. I want a nigga, but I don't need a nigga. All that bullshit, all that feminist shit is going to go right out the window when all hell breaks loose and the Lord let things go back to survival of the fittest, man. Verse 3, it says theft is going to cost the U.S. retailers more than $100 billion this year. And at this point, organized retail crime has become such a crisis that even the Dollar Tree is being forced to take drastic measures. Yep, it says the company which runs Family Dollar Tree and Family Dollar has several new shrink formats that is intended to roll out in the final 6 months of the year. CEO, and ultimately this is part of the New World Order plans to bring the order out of the chaos. And that's why they're going to allow a lot of this chaos to happen. But they think that they have the answers. They think they have the solutions to all of this. But ultimately, it's really the Lord setting Esau up to be destroyed and to let his pride ultimately put him in slippery places that he's not going to be able to get himself out of, man. All right. Look at this part. Number 4. It says, when I was young, I actually applied to go to school at Yale. At that time, I was one of the most prestigious universities in the entire world. Unfortunately, at this point, violent crime in the city of New Haven is off the charts. Yale University is rushing to reassure freshman students and parents after the school's police union, which in the midst of contract negotiations, distributed flyers with stark warnings about high crime in New Haven, Connecticut, complete with a graphic of the Grim Reaper. They warn incoming students to avoid walking alone and avoid public transport. Forget nightlife. Students should stay in their dorms and off the streets around 8 p.m. So here it is in the so-called most prestigious college in America. They're telling you that it's too goddamn dangerous to even go to the school. Crime is so out of control. Cities are on the downward spiral that you going there, go at your own risk. They're telling you don't even go out at night because it's so many criminals and it's so just unprotected that it's not even, be careful. They warn incoming students to avoid walking alone I read that. It says, presented by the Yale Police Benevolent Association as a survival guide for first-year students of Yale, the flyers were distributed on a freshman move-in day. The incidence of crime and violence in New Haven is shockingly high, and it is getting worse. So not only is it unsafe to go to these damn colleges, it's too fucking expensive to go, and also going to these colleges and getting these degrees are basically worthless because you're going to go and spend all this money to go to Yale or Stanford or one of these so-called prestigious schools and graduate with a degree, and you'll be working at Starbucks or you'll be working back at home. You're going to be such in heavy debt that it's pointless to even to go there. The information is bullshit. The degree is worthless. And not only that, you're going to find yourself in a lifetime full of debt that you'll never be able to get yourself out of. And you'll be back at home living with your parents doing Uber Eats, man. So this place is completely destroyed, man. Back in the heyday, you go to Yale University and get a degree. Hey, you would leave out of there with a degree and you would get a great job. You'll be able to start your family. You'll, be on the up and up. But now going there is complete fucking negative. And now going there, they got a goddamn survival guide for you, to adhere to so you don't get bopped upside your head. So this place is completely just done, man. Look at this. Number 5. One man in Texas was just forcibly removed from a school board meeting for reading a book that had actually been available in the libraries. Look at this. Look at this bullshit. It says Kuroter described a book as a semi-autobiographical graphic novel set in 95 that follows the story of a child named Aiden as he navigates friendships, deals with bullies, and spends time with Elias, a boy he can't stop thinking about. Oh boy. He finds himself on a path of self-discovery and acceptance. Yeah, Moism, man. Look at this, verse number 6. It seems that like there is a mass shooting somewhere in America almost every day now. The latest incident just occurred in the city of Jackson, Florida. Terrifying video shows the moment a crazed racist gunman enters a Jacksonville Dollar General armed with the AR-15, then shoots dead 3 people in a racially motivated attack. The gunman was identified as Ryan Palmater, 21, police confirmed on Sunday. They also detailed a manifesto he left behind, calling it a diary of a madman. You see? So this place is just totally destroyed. It's unfit. It's not getting any better, and it's going to continue to spiral out of control because ultimately the Lord is done with Babylon the Great America. It served its purpose. This country is circling the drain. It's only going to go down. It's not going to be saved. Trump is not going to make America great again. This place is done. It's finished, and you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans need to get that through your thick skull. You need to repent and return unto Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, because that's our only defense. That's our only salvation out of this hellhole known as America. And this place needs to be obliterated and destroyed. It can't be rehabilitated. It can't be fixed. It's not going to happen. And what's this? It talks about all this vehicle theft in Chicago. Like it says, 8, instead of cracking down on crime, federal law enforcement authorities are using their resources to raid Amish cattle farmers. See, so they're not trying to stop the crime. They're not putting any money into the crime. They're not putting any money into all the opioids, all the drugs, the homelessness of this city. They're not even trying to fix the falling U.S. petrodollar, man. They're letting this place completely circle the drain and go down and down and down so they can bring in this new world order. So you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans need to get it through your thick skulls to forsake this place and come out of this place. Your only salvation and your only protection out of this place is Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. It says, instead of cracking down on crime, federal law enforcement authorities are using their resources to raid Amish cattle farmers. They came with a search warrant, spoke softly spoken Samuel B. Fisher, a mild-mannered cattle farmer operating a 100-acre farm tucked away in Virginia's heartland. Fisher's bread and butter, Golden Valley Farms, carves out of the scenic countryside that's a hop, skip, and a jump away from historic Farmville, blah, blah, blah. It says they then tagged the meat so that we cannot touch it, we can't sell it, we can't feed our family with it, Fisher told Town Hall. Right, because ultimately they want you to eat bugs and to drink cockroach milk, and you having the freedom to eat and live a healthy, free lifestyle is over with here in Babylon the Great. Look at this. Number 9, the number of transgender surgeries in the United States nearly tripled just in just a 3-year period. See? So this shit's done. Transgender surgeries nearly tripled in the United States between 2016 and 2019, with breast and chest procedures accounting for 56.6% of all operations. Results of a study published Wednesday in the JAMA Network Open Show. Close behind was genital reconstruction, making up 35.1%, followed by facial and cosmetic procedures at 13.9%. The greatest number of procedures overall were undergone by women, 19 to 30-year-olds, people with private insurance, and people with higher incomes. Most procedures occurred in the West and were performed in urban teaching hospitals. See, so look at this. People are through out here, man. And this number is only going to go up and up because they're allowing people to literally destroy themselves, man. You see, what's number 10? Joe Biden's asking Congress for money for a new shot, and we know that these new lockdowns are coming in. See, and this place is done. Our society is going to continue to change, for the worse. But the direction of that change can be altered, you see. And this is where a lot of these articles and these people go off. You're not going to change the direction that this country is going. You're not going to save America. You're not going to transform this country to go back to the good old days. It's done. It's finished. The Lord has put a fork in this place. It's finished. All right. And I'm going to get this and I'm going to close it. And this was Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14, verse I'll start at 20. It says, and so the multitude, allured by the grace of the work, took him now for a god, which a little before was but honored. And this was an occasion to deceive the world, for men serving either calamity or tyranny did ascribe unto stones and stocks the incommunicable name. You see, now people are going after all these different idols, all these different philosophies, all these different alternative ways of life, and they're appointing it as to some form of godliness, man. It says, moreover, this was not enough for them, that they erred in the knowledge of the Most High. And that's what this place suffers from. They're erring in the knowledge of God. Now a lot of these people don't even believe in God. Now a lot of these people are going in the way that is outside of the knowledge of the Most High. See? And that's why all of this wickedness and all this confusion, all of this violence, all of this pure unappreciation of life and blasphemy and wickedness is run rampant all throughout the earth. It says, but whereas they lived in the great war of ignorance, those so great plagues called they peace. And these people believe that all this transgenderism is peace. All of this confusion, this feminism, the weakening of the men, the emasculating of the women, the disorder in marriages. These children are out here being allowed to destroy themselves and to flip-flop themselves. They think these as peace and as salvation, but it's not. It says, for whilst they slew their children in sacrifices, a lot of these women, all these damn abortions that are happening here in Babylon the Great. It says, or used secret ceremonies, or made revelings of strange rites, all of this witchcraft, this sorcery, all of this idol worship behavior, all of this confusion is running rampant, and it's all being, manifested here in these last days. It says they kept neither lives nor marriages any longer undefiled. They got Adam 22. He's married to that chick Lana, but he letting her getting banged out by other men on camera. That all goes back to some form of idol and witchcraft and sorcery, man. Idol worship. And that's accepted. That's being applauded. That can get you the bag. That can, This shit is just all complete wickedness, man. It says, but either one slew another traitorously or grieved him by adultery, so that there reigned in all men without exception blood, manslaughter, theft, and dissimulation, corruption, unfaithfulness, tumults, perjury, disquieting of good men, forgetfulness of good turns, defiling of souls, changing of kind, disorder in marriages, adultery, and shameless uncleanness. And that's basically everything some of the things that the article was speaking about, and even more things. And this is why this society is ultimately a failed mission, and its sins have reached unto heaven. And the only thing left for Babylon the Great is to be utterly annihilated and burned with fire. It says, for the worshiping of idols not to be named is the beginning, the cause, and the end of all evil. And that's what America in these last days is reduced to. Because all of this shit, all this wickedness, this craziness that is happening, it all goes back to some form of some ancient pagan idol. But they present it as peace. They present it as something that is not. But we know that this is the beginning, the cause, and the end of all evil. And that's why this great judgment and destruction is coming upon this place, and it's not going to be healed. It says, for either they are mad when they be merry, or prophesy lies, or live unjustly, or else lightly forswear themselves. And for in so much as their trust is in idols, which have no life, though they swear falsely, yet they look not to be hurt. Howbeit for both causes shall they be justly punished, both because they thought not well of the Most High, giving heed unto idols, and also unjustly swore in deceit, despising holiness. For it is not the power of them by whom they swear, but it is the just vengeance of sinners that punisheth always the offense of the ungodly. So with that, I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, putting the spirit of me to do this lesson. Lord willing, you were edified. Lord willing, you have it in your minds that you need to forsake this place. It's going down. It's not going to be healed. Forsake her. This judgment has reached unto heaven, and this place soon will be destroyed, man. So with that, I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, putting the spirit of me to do this lesson. Lord willing, you were edified. Shalom.